Time to take a look at one of the most beautiful BMWs that's just been released in a very beautiful setting in Cameron Highlands. Undeniable. BMWs make great cars. We know that for a fact, right? And well, this new 428i is expected to live up to its predecessor's legendary status. But will it? Well, I'm not in Kuala Lumpur. I'm here in the crisp, clean air of Cameron Highlands. Why did we come so far to do a review of this car? Well, it's because the roads here and leading up to Cameron Highlands are beautiful and twisty. So why do I need twisty roads? It's because I want to find out if this car is not just a BMW 3 Series in a sports jacket, but is truly a sports car. So, are we ready to go and check out this wonderful predecessor and also precursor to the legendary new generation of M3? Let's jump in. For every generation of the 3 Series, we've always had the coupe version. However, for this particular iteration, BMW has departed from its regular naming convention, and instead of calling the 3 Series Coupe as it was, they've now renamed it to the 4 Series. And this 428i is definitely the latest iteration of the legendary BMW coupes, starting all the way back from the E30 back in the 80s. The air up here is so fresh, so clean. It gives you the space of mind to really contemplate what this car is all about and to really think about the very genesis of this car. Now, if you were to tell me that in your opinion you think that this 428i is actually a 3 Series +1 to the number and -2 on doors, well, I won't fault you so much. Yes, a lot of people seem to think that. However, did you know that the only body panel that this car has in common with the original 3 Series, its brother, is this? The hood. This is the only panel that is shared between the two vehicles, because everything else is new, everything else is redesigned. And well, we have great light here so you can clearly see what has been done. Number one, they've reworked this nose area over here to give it a more pronounced and a more garang look, if I can use that word. You see, the nose has been designed a little bit more upright, and it has a more pronounced and more look at me, I'm fierce kind of look. This entire bottom area over here again has been reworked. In fact, this entire front area has been made to look wider visually, because a sports car needs to be wide and low. Well, speaking of low, this car does ride lower than its 3 Series sibling. And then the changes and the difference continues onto the side with this, well, I call it the M Boomerang. This is in fact the M Sport version, but all 4 Series comes with this special air outlet over here to give it better airflow. And then the lines continue on the side as well. Now the side here is definitely where you can see clearly the difference between the 3 and the 4 Series. If you have the two cars, well, not exactly side to side, but perhaps tail to tail or nose to nose, you'll be able to see that the side profile has been entirely reworked. How? This rear screen is now much more raked compared to the 3 Series. The 3 Series a bit more upright, this one it's a sleeper, and that definitely means that you have to compromise a little bit on the rear headroom, as we will see later, but overall aesthetically it definitely works for this car. We know what else is fantastic, and this is definitely going to be a party piece. I pray that this works. Boom! Check that out. You have all this stuff, all your shopping and all your bags in your hands, not a problem, because by just doing that, you're going to be able to open the boot, provided you have your keys in your pocket, and that gives you access to this cavernous boot space. Now, the interior space. Alright, now if you thought that the outside looked like the 3 Series, you'd think that inside you are in the 3 Series. It does share a very similar setup inside here, but that's no bad thing, because in fact the car, regardless of whether it's a 4 or the 3 or any other BMW, it has a very good interior design, and that's definitely a positive. You still get the great fit and finish, you still get the great materials, the soft touch plastics are there in the right places, the leather feels really good. You do get an M Sport steering wheel with this M Sport version, but everything else is a very familiar place if you've seen the 3 Series. Again, let me reiterate that that's definitely a good thing. The seats are very supportive, they're very beautiful, and a lot of the buttons have been taken away, and a lot of the controls are happening via this very much improved iDrive system. You can get to pretty much anything over here: your radio, your alternative media, telephone, your sat nav, as well as your vehicle settings. Everything via the very user-friendly iDrive, which is now very easy to use. Not so much you can say about it. All right, now that's the front space. Let me talk to you about out back here. Now, you've got a lot of space back here. It's actually another very comfortable place to be in. However, one thing that's not so premium back here, like I mentioned earlier, it's the headroom. I'm 5'11" and I'm just about brushing the top space of the ceiling over here. If anything about 6 foot or anything north of that, I think you might have a slight problem with that. It does not feel claustrophobic because this rear quarter panel window is large enough for you to see outside, and you get enough light in here. Another point that I feel that it's only is the fact that there are no door handles. You cannot hold on to anything over here, especially if you're at the back. You have to hold on to the front seat. And if you're a typical Malaysian and if you're a typical urbanite with all your laundry, there's no place for you to hang it. You do get a tiny little hook over here which will allow you to say hang 1 or 2 stuff, and that's just about it. But that's really nitpicking on the niggles over here. The back seat is specifically for only 2 people. It's not a bench, it's 2 individual seats, because you do get this center console over here with this tray where you can put stuff, and of course you can pull this armrest down with a nifty cup holder. So only 4 strictly, not 5, unless you like to have things riding up your bottom when you're riding in a car. But let's talk about riding in a car now, shall we? Alright, so let's take this baby out for a spin. Now, one thing for sure, that this car is a fantastic car to drive. Let me just qualify this part of the review by saying how much I love to drive this car. It feels so well balanced. The suspension, I can't even say things properly because I'm so excited about what this car can do. The suspension setup has been done up so nicely that the car feels really good. You know, when you take a turn, it really finds the apex, and then it gives you the confidence to go in and out of a turn through the apex very nicely. That is one thing that can definitely be said about this car. The balance is phenomenal. You feel like you're driving a proper sports car. And then that's just in comfort mode. Once you hit this button over here and you go north once, you will then go to the sport mode where they tell you that you're going to get dynamic driving experience. It opens up a completely new ballgame altogether. And then if you hit the button once more, and if you move the gator to the left to the sport mode, that's when the shifts happen quicker. And then if you hit it north once more, you're going to go to Sport Plus. And what you get from Sport Plus is dynamic driving with limited driving stabilization. You know what that means, right? traction control off. It's just you and the machine. Why is this car brilliant to drive? Well, apart from the beautiful setup and the phenomenal balance that I was talking about, it's the drivetrain. This car, this is the 428i. It has a 2-litre turbocharged twin scroll lump up front. It pushes out 240 Newton meters of 240 brake horsepower and about 255 pound-foot of torque. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but then it feels like it's much more than what it actually is. The Century Sprint is done in 5.3 seconds. That's good. That's really good for a car this size. And also, I think another thing that definitely helps is the fact that the 8-speed automatic, which also allows you to choose your cogs via these column-mounted pedal shifters, it definitely gives you that extra bit of control, and that is just really, really cool. All you need to do if you're in a motorway and you need to overtake something, all you need to do is to hit the pedal on the left and you get a bucket load of torque delivered right on your lap, and you can overtake just about anything in a motorway, bar perhaps a couple of hypercars. But really, really, this car is about great drivability, easy to handle, but also good performance. And I think that's definitely one of the most redeeming factors about this car. This car, I love it. What more can I say about it? Guys, as the sun sets down on us here in Cameron Islands, it's, we are drawing a close to yet another fantastic day of driving review right here in India. And we have spent quite a day. As you can see, the car doesn't quite look as how it did when we first started the day. What can we really say about our day in this BMW 428i? I want tomorrow to come, because this car is really quite a cracker. And you know why? Because BMW has been perfecting this formula ever since the 80s when they had the BMW E30. Now, from the E30, it spawned the E30 M3. Now, if that formula is anything to go by, you're going to be thinking, what else can this car do when the M3 version comes out not too long from now? It is definitely going to be a cracker, because this car is already quite a subliminal machine. And if you're thinking of getting one, call me up. I want to ride, because this car is definitely fun for one and for all.